run the online activism program here at Fire Dog Lake. Just wanted to give you guys an update on some of the things we've got going on with our online organizing. This week we're very excited, a campaign we've been working on for a while, and actually for over a year now we've been working with Colorado on marijuana legalization ballot initiatives. And this week we found out that they qualified, and so this year, in 2012 in the fall, Coloradans will be voting on legalization on Yes on 64. And to help support that effort and sort of build awareness around it, we're working with the campaign in Colorado to get people to attend their local Democratic precinct caucuses and get the state party to endorse the resolution in hopes of, gaining more support for it and spreading it around and letting more people in Colorado know about it. So that's going very well. And I wanted to know, for the caucuses, we were able to actually attract about 100 activists to go and introduce and vote on resolutions for endorsement, which is pretty incredible when you consider probably less than 2,000 people actually participate in the caucuses altogether. So we think we have a really good shot of getting the endorsement, and we're really excited to see how this is going. Getting back to the membership stuff, our membership program and our activism program go together like two puzzle pieces. They're very important to one another, not just because of the financial support that Ryan was speaking of, and how that support allows us to do things like, for instance, pay our staff while committing 100% of Occupy Supply donations to the movement. But we also, like to bring our members in to help plan our activism and to talk about a lot of the issues going on and figure out what we want to do as a program together. Some of them Ryan touched on here. I'll touch on a couple more. We had a talk with Danny Glover, the actor, as well as Emmanuel Cleaver, and we were talking about free trade agreements with Trans-Africa, and that was a really great conversation. That was right before the free trade agreements passed earlier, or a little bit later last year. And we also had a really good conversation that's exemplary of something that I think you guys would be interested in. We had a while back a 2012 election planning webinar. It was one of the first ones we did with the program. And it was very simple. It was just we had John, who's our senior policy editor, come on and talk about sort of his analysis of what was going on at that point, and then we just opened it up to a discussion like we always do here. And so the webinars are similar to what we do here. We have a lot more guest speakers. We talk about a wide range of topics, so if you want to join us, please do. As always, the store, if you guys are wondering what we have to offer for donations, go check it out at shop.occupysupply.com. I wanted to mention for anybody on the call who's part of the applications that were runners-up in our contest, our tent contest last month. We are very close to getting you your $100 gift cards. We'll have special logins for you, and we hope to continue to develop this store for use by the occupiers, so please stay tuned with that. And that's just weird. Finally, I just wanted to once again encourage folks to apply for fellowships if they're interested, if they're occupiers who have skills to offer. We've received probably over 80 applications so far, which is tremendous, and we're working on requests for applications, and we're working on getting those of you who applied your applications as soon as possible. So, thank you for your patience and for participating in this. We're super excited to see how Occupy Exchange goes. For anybody who missed any of the last two calls on Occupy Exchange, really briefly, the nonprofit Fire Dog Lake Writers Foundation is providing fellowships to key organizers in the Occupy movement so that they can travel and write about their experiences helping other occupations in areas like nonviolence training, citizen journalism, meeting facilitation, mediation, group building, that kind of stuff. So if you have any of these skills or you're part of an occupation that needs training and help in some of these areas, please get in touch with us. Please sign up for Occupy Exchange. We're really excited about it. And now I'm going to turn it over to Bev. You on?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Excellent.
And I'm Bev Wright. I'm your point of contact. If you have any questions or concerns about ordering supplies, getting packages, filling out delivery reports, how to write a post, send pictures, how to get to the liaison resource page, which is an excellent source of information for all the liaisons, and we're updating it all the time. So please, don't be afraid to get, if you have a question, I'm your person. And you can contact me at bev.occupysupply and firedoglake.com. Or you can call me anytime at 202-470-6339. We had packages going out this week to Asheville and Madison, and actually Lubbock. It's hello Lubbock. Welcome to Occupy Supply. And we did things like bivy covers, sleeping bag covers, fleece, long underwear, hats, gloves, the usual fleece jackets, all kinds of things. And if you need to know what we have, pop over to the Occupy Supply store, and there's pictures there. And if you could, member posts, we're looking for liaisons and occupiers to write a post, a short post. Tell us about how Occupy Supply has helped you out at your site, and we'd like to use it. It'll help us with our fund drive here and getting our members. And let me know, and we'll let you know when it goes live. So let us know when it's published. And one other note that I usually throw in here: if you have any legal actions pending against your occupation, or your occupy has been notified of an eviction, please let us know. We have resources available to help occupies that are threatened with eviction, and we can marshal some of those forces. So if you have any questions, let me know, and thank you.
Thank you, Bev. I'm trying to go to the next slide here. I'm actually going to cover for Jane tonight. She's not going to be on the call, so I'm just going to go over some updates on our tent deliveries from the Occupy Supply contest, as well as some updates on Occupy status. So we've had Dan Choi traveling around delivering tents. This week he was in Atlanta here with Will Marshall, our wonderful liaison and point of contact out in Atlanta. And that's been going really well. He's been marching and camping out at the AT&T Center with the folks down at Occupy Atlanta. And so we're really glad that this is going well, and we're so thankful for all your support and all of you guys who participated in the contest with us. Now, briefly, just a quick update on what's going on with some of the occupations this week. Occupy St. Louis is having, in a couple weeks, the Occupy Midwest event, which we're going to be helping out with, providing some support. There's going to be a Midwest conference of occupies, where all the occupies in the region are going to come together in St. Louis and meet, and it's going to be a really incredible meeting, and we're really excited to be a part of it. Occupy Boise, judge passed decision not to interfere until March 2nd. Occupy Charlotte also evicted, asking the judge to strike down the city's new no camping ordinance. In Asheville, occupiers were evicted a couple weeks ago, but they are beginning at a new location as well. In Tennessee, the governor is receiving a bill to sign into action on Monday, March 6th, an ordinance that would evict that Occupy. In London, we actually just had the live stream up on our website, and as Bev mentioned, if your occupation is going to be evicted, this is one of the things we can do to help, is direct eyes and make sure people are watching to sort of minimize abuse, brutality, and destruction of property. So unfortunately, Occupy London was shut down last night. We had that up. Occupy New Haven has been threatened with eviction due to the needs of the city as well as Yale. This is a new meme we're starting to see as an attack to the Occupy movement. The excuse that there are events that need to come up, there are festivals and things that are going to be interrupted by the Occupy movement, and therefore protests need to go. San Luis Obispo in the process of dismantling. Traverse City does not have an encampment but is still politically active. We've got 6 tents in Lubbock, as Ryan and Bev mentioned, and we're looking for, as Jane mentioned recently, there's people camping out in front of Century Aluminum demanding an end to their benefit cuts, and we're looking for a liaison out there. So if anybody is nearby Century Aluminum, please get in touch. We'd be happy to facilitate the connection there. And like I mentioned, I just want to throw up this poster for Occupy Midwest Conference. If anybody is a part of an occupation in the area, please, try to head out there. Otherwise, we hope to have more information on this in coming talks. And then I'll let Ryan kick off the presentation.
Great, thanks, Brian. I believe we have Lee, who can talk a little bit later about the Occupy the Midwest, and we've been working together on helping out with support out there. So in terms of the presentation tonight, we have a few folks from various occupies. I know that we are going to start out with Damien, who's actually, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, working with Tobias, who is from Occupy Newark, who was evicted not too long ago. But Damien has been working on some great projects and I'm going to let him talk about how Occupy Newark had a science and sustainability work group that they formed after the eviction, and what they're doing to move forward there. Damien?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, so I mean, what we're doing in terms of the science and sustainability is, early on, one of the major issues that we ran into was that as a lot of occupiers are doing currently, is, plugging into local outlets to supply electricity for laptops, lighting, and so forth. And it creates a lot of, in our case in Newark, it did create, one of the excuses as far as what led to the eviction out of their site. However, one of the projects that I did set up in Newark as well as in the occupation in Easton was to go off-grid using solar energy, putting together a small kit just to supply lighting, laptops, and that, is something where we can prototype it and expand to other sites. I'm also doing a teaching coming up, which hopefully will be on a webinar as well, where we kind of go more into the technological aspect of solar design and how to implement systems. One of the interesting things about, in terms of like my own personal development was working on like a micro grid interactive battery backup controller, and what this enabled was the ability to take, a single solar panel and both be able to charge a battery and operate off grid, as well as send power into the utility grid when the grid is available. What's new about the technology is, most of the manufacturers out there have designed larger systems that couldn't be implemented in an RV or a mobile application that can both network into a centralized grid as well as work off grid. So, it's definitely, an invention that can be useful to the Occupy movement when, we're getting more and more settlements that have permanent access to the utility grid that, that can also operate off-grid, in the event of a blackout.
So Damien, how much? I have two questions for you. Actually, the first is, how much would you say it would cost to put together something like this?
I mean, solar energy ranges, like, in terms of the panels that I was using at both the site in Newark as well as the one I set up in Easton, we were able to do it on a very small budget because one of the things I did was recycle solar panels that were damaged during the installation. So I collected cracked, the glass would be cracked, but the cells would still be functional. And I would collect these panels from various installers across the state. So right now I have a stockpile of about 30 panels. And by revarnishing the surfaces, it costs about like $50 to $100 per panel. The other big expense is the batteries, which in both sites, we had batteries donated from local forklifts where they were, disposing of old forklift batteries where they were